Hi and welcome along to AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date with players that have been linked with a summer transfer and moved to Arsenal. We have now relocated from Volgograd and we're now in the capital city of Russia, which is Moscow. I'm sat in a hotel room. I've had 25 minutes sleep since yesterday and I am feeling so tired. But we've got to keep going today. There's a load of games going on. We're going to get down to Red Square, etc. So it should be good. But of course, the breaking news, lots of news actually coming out yesterday. Let me start with the positive news that we've signed Bernd Leno. I said on the show yesterday, I've been saying for about a week that it's going to happen. It happened yesterday, officially announced. Bernd Leno signed for Arsenal, 26 years of age. Said a lot about him on the show. Considered to be a real top goalkeeper, really knocking on the door of becoming like one of the, the main goalkeepers for Germany. Missed out on the World Cup this time around. Was in the Confederations Cup squad previously. But of course, we know Germany got some real top goalkeepers, but definitely one for the future. And it's going to be really interesting to see how he gets on in the Premier League. So Bernd Leno has come in and I think a real positive signing. We needed a goalkeeper. Petr Cech, poor last season. David Ospina, average last season. And as we've seen with the Champions League final and Karius and the mistakes he made, etc., and even a couple of mistakes that I've seen from goalkeepers in this World Cup, goalkeeper is as important as a position as a striker. You are not going to win anything if you don't have a top goalkeeper. Last season, David De Gea probably saved, I don't know how many points he saved for Manchester United, which got them into second place. He was their man of the match. He's been their player of the season about the last 3 seasons strong. So I think it's really positive that we've gone out there. We've got a goalkeeper that was much sought after. Napoli wanted him. We've managed to secure his signature. And Bernd Leno will be coming in at Arsenal. And we will get to see him in the pre-season friendlies and see what he's all about. But good signing by Arsenal. The negative, though, for some people, not everybody, but the negative is Jack Wilshere is leaving Arsenal Football Club. He announced it yesterday. I did a video about it just before we left to come to Moscow. He announced it, saying that basically, I wouldn't say he's saying he was driven out of the club, but basically saying that, he had no other choice than to leave because, he wants to play, really. He wanted guarantees that he was going to be playing week in, week out. The new manager, Unai Emery, can't give him those guarantees. They wanted him. They offered him a new contract, but can't give him guarantees that he's going to be starting week in, week out. And Jack Wilshere's looking on it and saying, I'm starting to get older. He's probably still a bit upset that he missed out on the England squad, which I personally think he should have made. And he's just looked upon it and said to himself, you know what, I need a new beginning. He put on his Instagram the other day about new chapters and new beginnings. He was talking about, he's obviously looked on it and said, I need a new beginning. I need to play football every single week. I need to be playing consistently. I need to get back myself into that England team. And he's leaving, and it's a shame. Been at Arsenal for 17 years. And if we're being honest, he's never really hit it off at Arsenal. And it's not really been his fault. It's been the injuries. Every time he's got going and we're starting to see what could be a great player injured. And we're not talking about short-term injuries. We're talking about long-term injuries that have really hindered him. Other players quite possibly would have called it a day with some of the injuries that he's had over the years. So I don't wish him all the best. I'm not even going to blame Unai Emery on this one. I've seen some people going in and, why has he done that? Why have you taken him out? I think Unai Emery's right. You can't guarantee Jack Wilshere a start in Arsenal Football Club. He played for nearly a whole season last year. He did okay, but he didn't do spectacular, hence why he didn't get into the England team. He was obviously working his way back from injury for a lot of that season. So you can't blame Unai Emery. Unai Emery's come in, he's been given a job to do, and he is looking on it and saying, Jack Wilshere would be great for the team. He's got Arsenal in his heart. He knows what Arsenal's all about, but I can't guarantee you. So it's sad, but this is football. This is the industry that we're in, and Jack Wilshere is moving on from Arsenal Football Club come January the 1st. It's going to be really weird. And that whole, remember, the English core. Remember when that famous picture with Jenkinson, Gibbs, Chambers, Walcott, Jack, I think Aaron Ramsey. Ramsey's the only one left out of that, the British core, should I say. He's the only one left, really. All the rest have gone. I think Jenkinson's still just about out of the club, but, you know, they're going to look to move him on as well. So it's a shame. And we're over here for the World Cup. There's lots of Tottenham players in the England team and that. And no, apart from Danny Welbeck, no Arsenal player in the starting lineup. It's really sad to see at the moment. So good luck to Jack. But hopefully, you know, other players will come through and earn their place in the team. But I think he definitely needs to move on. And it looks like he could be heading, I'm hearing the favourites for his signature are West Ham. He's been linked with Juventus, Crystal Palace, Everton. But I'm hearing that West Ham are the favourites to get hold of his signature. Now, who replaces Jack Wilshere? We know that Lucas Torreira is definitely going to be coming in. Lucas Torreira, deep-lying midfielder, holding midfielder, box-to-box. He can play them all, but basically a defensive midfielder. Now, the president of Sampdoria, Massimo Ferrero, basically said yesterday that Torreira's leaving the club, or has left. This is what he said. He said, Torreira has left for 30 million euros. I bought him from Pescara when nobody believed in him. We took a gamble on him and we won, paying just 3 million euros. So basically, he bought him for 2.6 million pounds, and he's selling him for 26 million pounds, which that's a great bit of business on the point of Sampdoria. But basically, that's the club president saying that we've sold him, and we know he's coming to Arsenal. I think it's all been done. It's all been, officials went over, done medicals, everything like that. Lucas Torreira will be an Arsenal player. We've needed a defensive midfielder for a long time. This is that defensive midfielder. But he's not a Jack Wilshere, is he? He's not. He's got a good range of passes on him. But I still think, when I look at that midfield now, we're short of a creative midfielder. A deep-lying creative midfielder. I know we've got Mesut Ozil, but he's more of a number 10 to me. Somebody that's going to sit quite deep and create a lot of chances. I would still like to see us go out and buy another player, because now we've lost Santi Cazorla and Jack Wilshere. And Lucas Torreira, more of a holding player. Granit Xhaka, can he play that role? I'm not sure. Granit Xhaka doesn't get the ball and drive past players, and I still think we need somebody else in that role. Now, could that be Éver Banega? Éver Banega has been linked. We spoke about him on the show yesterday. Of course, he was with Unai Emery at Sevilla. Very successful with him at Sevilla. Also, he was with him at Valencia as well. 29 now, though, Banega, but still a really, really talented player. He's in the Argentinian squad at the moment. Really skillful, and he is a very creative player. And maybe at the age of 29, he wouldn't want to possibly play week in, week out. I would like the challenge of coming to the Premier League. So maybe Éver Banega might be a good choice. Golovin, who we've seen over here, Alexander Golovin, we was at the game, well, we was at the fan fest yesterday with all the Russian fans. They're raving over this kid. Free kick specialist, excellent player, creative, dynamic, and would definitely, for me, be a good addition to the team. Definitely worth a shout. Jean-Michel Seri of Nice still looks like he's going to be on his move to the UK. Chelsea was said to be the favourites, but maybe they're not so much the favourites now. Apparently, Seri's team not too impressed with the dithering that's been going on at Chelsea. Remember, they still don't have a manager in place. I mean, it's still, well, they've got Conte in place, but effectively he's left, but he's still there. They're supposed to be getting in Sarri, but it's a bit of chaos over there at the moment at Chelsea. If Arsenal were to get Jean-Michel Seri, they should pounce now. Of course, we know that Nice have got a new manager under Patrick Vieira that may be able to persuade Seri to stay. But Seri would be the perfect replacement for Jack Wilshere. He'd probably be about 35 million euros, but would be the perfect replacement because very similar to Jack, great range of passes, very creative, drives into space, and I think that would be an excellent signing if Arsenal were able to make it. So Jean-Michel Seri, also another option. For me, definitely I feel that it's an area that is not going to be addressed with both of those going out and the signings that I'm seeing being made. They're, as I said, more defensive Torreira, but we'll have to see what happens with that. Another person that's leaving the club, lots of outs at the moment, is Jens Lehmann. Now, Jens Lehmann, of course, invincible, great goalkeeper for Arsenal over the years. He was at the club under the role as sort of working out on the coaching staff. Well, after only 1 year at the club, he's been told that he can leave. And he tweeted about it yesterday, and obviously not very happy at all. You know, Jens Lehmann always tells it as it is. And basically, well, I'm not even going to read out the full tweet, but basically what he was saying in his tweet basically is that they don't want him around, and it's the last voice of the Invincibles that would have been around, and basically they've moved him out. Unai Emery, definitely wanting his own people, and has decided that Jens Lehmann's going to have to go. Steve Bold, however, keeps his place by the looks of it. He's going to be staying on as an assistant to Unai Emery. So there was a lot of speculation that Steve Bold would leave the club with Arsene Wenger, but it looks like Steve Bold will be staying on at Arsenal as assistant. Finally, Arsenal linked with a really talented youngster today. He goes by the name of Ryan Brewster. Now, I remember Mims was the first person to bring me to the attention of this kid. He plays for Liverpool. You've also seen him play in England under 17s. And a really talented kid, scores lots and lots of goals. Was with the squad when they won the World Cup. And he's not signed a new deal yet at Liverpool. Now, Arsenal and Tottenham both waiting to pounce for him, according to reports. He's 18 years of age. There's also teams over in Germany. A lot of these teams now in Germany are looking to try and wade in and get some of these young, talented players from the UK. But Brewster is being linked heavily with a move to Arsenal. We'll have to wait and see what happens with that. Liverpool said to be trying to prepare a contract for him. Again, he's wanting guarantees of a pathway into the first team. And this is what these young players want right now. And who can blame them? You can't just keep playing in under 23s and that. You want to play football. You want to play men's football, you know. So let's see what happens with that one. So a real busy day today. Real mix. Players in, players out. Would really like to get your opinions on it. Bernd Leno, what do you think? Great signing. Let me know. Jack Wilshere, happy or sad? Do you think it's the right thing, wrong thing? Would love to know. And who replaces Wilshere? That's the one for me. I still think Torreira, for me, I agree with that. I think it's an excellent signing. But that's not a Wilshere replacement. That's a holding midfielder. That's a defensive midfielder. Who replaces Jack Wilshere and Cazorla? Their creativity in the middle of the park. That's what I'd like to know. Thanks for watching the show today. Don't forget to check out all of our content over here in Russia. We'll be back tomorrow.